General Ashish Khanna during a regional energy meeting in Accra, Ghana. The fund will support a 3-year plan focused on solar adoption in agriculture, rooftop installations, mini-grids, and the creation of a solar technology and application resource center. Adelabu said the initiative is central to Nigeria's energy transition and will power schools, clinics, small businesses, and rural communities. Similar partnerships were also signed by Ghana and the Gambia, reflecting stronger regional cooperation on renewable energy. President Bola Tinubu has described his meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron at the Élysée Palace in Paris as productive, noting that both leaders agreed to strengthen bilateral relations for mutual prosperity and global stability. In a post on his official X handle, Tinubu said they reviewed key areas of cooperation and committed to deepening the partnership between Nigeria and France. The meeting took place during Tinubu's 2025 annual leave, which began on September 4. According to the presidency, the president expended 10 working days between France and the United Kingdom before returning to Nigeria. The trip follows his recent official visit to Japan for Tokyo International Conference on African Development, 9th edition, and to Brazil for bilateral talks. This marks Tinubu's second visit to France in 6 months after an April working trip where he assessed his administration's performance. Nigeria has generated more than 600 billion naira in value-added tax from global digital service providers, including Facebook, Amazon, and Netflix. This followed amendments to the VAT Act, empowering the Federal Inland Revenue Service to tax non-resident companies offering services in Nigeria, according to Matthew Osaniku, Special Advisor on Tax Policy to the Tax Reforms Committee. The firms are now registered locally and act as VAT collection agents. Chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Professor Taiwo Oyedele, clarified that President Bola Tinubu's fiscal reforms have not introduced new taxes but are focused on fairness and easing the burden on low and middle income earners. The reforms, effective January 2026, will remove multiple charges, expand tax base, and exempt Nigerians earning below 800,000 naira annually and small businesses making under 100 million naira from income and corporate taxes. Oyedele said the reforms aim to create a fairer, progressive system while addressing Nigeria's weak tax-to-GDP ratio of 10.8%. The Naira continued its rally on Wednesday, closing at 1,500 naira 91 kobo per United States dollar at the official Nigerian exchange market. This marks the second straight day the currency traded below 1,500 naira threshold, a level last seen in March 2025. At the parallel market, the Naira also appreciated to about 1,515 naira from 1,525 naira the previous day. Analysts link the rebound to stronger demand for the Naira, reduced speculative trading, and a steady rise in foreign reserves. Nigeria's external reserves rose to $41.59 billion as of Tuesday, up $25 million from the day before, giving the central bank stronger backing to defend the Naira. Research firm Meristem noted that high reserves, improved oil output, and fresh capital inflows have boosted market confidence. With reserves now covering about 10 months of import, well above global standards, the outlook appears more stable. Experts, however, warn that weaker oil prices and disruptions in crude production could test the sustainability of the rally. Consumer inflation in the United States rose in August, driven by high gasoline prices and new tariffs on imports. The Consumer Price Index increased by 0.3% after a 0.2% rise in July, while annual inflation reached 2.9%, the highest in 7 months. Food prices also climbed, with coffee recording its biggest yearly increase in over 2 years, and beef costs rising due to import duties and past droughts. Farm labor shortages caused by migrant deportations added the further pressure on food prices. Excluding food and energy, core inflation rose 0.3% for the second month in a row, keeping the annual rate at 3.1%. Tariffs lifted prices of goods such as clothing and furniture, while strong demand for travel raised hotel and airline fares. Despite rising prices, the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates by a 0.25 percentage point next week to support the economy. Many thanks for watching. You do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at SOUQ News Television. I am Omivi Idolo. Coming up shortly is SOUQ Business Landscape. Stay with us.
Muhammad Yunus was born on the 28th of June 1940 in the village of Batwa, Chittagong, a British Indian colony which is currently known as Bangladesh. He attended Lama Bazar Primary and Secondary School in his village and passed the matriculation examination into Chittagong Collegiate School, where he ranked 16th out of 39,000 students. After his graduation in 1961, Yunus joined the Bureau of Economics as a research assistant and was later appointed lecturer of economics at the Chittagong College. During that time, he also set up a profitable packaging factory on the side. In 1965, he received a Fulbright scholarship to study in the United States, where he obtained his PhD in economics from the Vanderbilt University Graduate Program in Economic Development. Between 1969 and 1972, after his keen education excellence of apex heights and proportions in the United States, he returned home and was appointed professor of economics at the University of Chittagong. He was eventually appointed onto the board of directors to the United Nations Foundation, where he served for 33 years. When Bangladesh suffered a famine in 1974, Yunus felt he had to do something for the very poor. In his country, he founded the Grameen Bank. His motivation was to create economic and social development for the very poor, giving long-term loans to those who wanted to start small enterprises to pay back when they can. The aim to help was to get many of them out of poverty. For this, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2006. Muhammad Yunus is a recipient of numerous international awards for his ideas and endeavors, including the Humanitarian Award in 1993, World Food Prize in 1994, Independence Day Award in 1987, Bangladesh's highest award, the King Hussein Humanitarian Leadership Award in 2000. He was also awarded the Volvo Environment Prize in 2003, Nikkei Asia Prize for Regional Growth in 2004, Franklin D. Roosevelt Freedom Award in 2006, as well as the SOUQ Peace Prize in the same year. All humans are born entrepreneurs, he would always fondly say. His heart showed through his everyday life.
Dr. SOUQ A. Adedeji, whose leadership has significantly transformed Nigeria's tax administration, is a distinguished first-class graduate in accounting from the prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, and he currently serves as the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS.
I firmly believe in the wisdom encapsulated in the statements. Revenue growth is the lifeblood of the national economy, providing means to fulfill essential duties to the citizens. These words capture the core principle that will guide us as we navigate the challenging terrain ahead, ensuring that our nation thrives and fulfills its obligation to its citizens. In our pursuit of greater fiscal future, we are determined to align ourselves with President Bola Tinubu's Extreme Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform Committee. This collaboration will enable us to shape the prosperous fiscal landscape that will empower our nation's growth and development.
Born on January 8, 1978 in Ogbomoso, Oyo State, Nigeria, Dr. Adedeji is an accomplished accountant and public officer with extensive expertise in corporate taxation and public finance. His journey in public service began in 2011 when he was appointed as Commissioner for Finance in Oyo State. In that capacity, Adedeji introduced transformative financial reforms, most notably the establishment of the Treasury Single Account (TSA) to streamline government revenues and expenditures. In March 2021, President Muhammadu Buhari appointed Adedeji as Executive Secretary of the National Sugar Development Council (NSCDC). In this capacity, he founded the Nigeria Sugar Institute and spearheaded the Sugar Backward Integration Program, which sought to enhance local sugar production and reduce reliance on foreign imports. In June 2023, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu appointed Adedeji as Special Advisor on Revenue, and by September of that same year, he had ascended to the position of Executive Chairman of FIRS, Nigeria's leading tax authority responsible for the assessment, collection, and management of federal taxes.
The focus will be on these indirect taxes, so that as long as you consume, you have to pay. As long as you have interest on your investment, you have to pay. And this is echoing Mr. President's message that we are not going to tax the seed, but we are going to tax the fruit. The fruit is what we focus on. So all those things, when we have this holistic process, it will be captured, and that the vision is to have a progressive tax, that if you earn more, you pay more, and if you earn less, you will not pay.
Under his leadership, FIRS exceeded its 2023 revenue target of 11.55 trillion naira. As chairman of FIRS, Dr. Adedeji implemented a performance-based system aligning with the service's new slogan, simplifying tax, maximizing revenue.
Dr. SOUQ Adedeji has done incredibly well in transforming and reforming the tax processes and procedures in Nigeria. In a little over a year being at the helm of the affairs of the tax body in Nigeria, we have seen a significant improvement in revenue generation. His policy of not crumbling business with taxation is something that also needs to be applauded. SOUQ Adedeji philosophy is taxing fruits and not the seed, and taxing prosperity, not poverty. Because if you look at the fiscal landscape of Nigeria in the past 10 years, you find that businesses have struggled to live, and that has led to the exit of so many businesses from Nigeria. But with this new reform, we're saying that the businesses will profit from the reform processes, and that will mean more business for Nigeria. We will have a lot of foreign inflow in terms of foreign direct investment that will actually drive the process of economic growth for the country. And I think he has done so well, and he deserves a kudos, especially for taking the giant stride to restructure FIRS for efficiency, for accountability, and for value for money.
He has also made the welfare of the staff a top priority, fostering a positive working environment that has brought smiles to the faces of FIRS employees nationwide. Supporters of the tax reform bills highlight several key benefits, harping on the need for streamlined tax processes that could reduce bureaucratic hurdles and foster an environment where businesses can thrive.
He has initiated a lot of reform which dovetail into the tax reform bills that is before the National Assembly. This initiative is to improve on the tax administration system in Nigeria with a view to improving on the collection systems that will be beneficial to every member of the Nigerian state. SOUQ, as is well known, has improved on simplifying tax reform even within the federal land revenue, which in no means has improved on tax administration, and he celebrated essentially for the core initiative of the tax reform.
Under Dr. Adedeji's leadership, Nigeria's tax system has gone beyond mere policy adjustments. Its focus is on fostering sustainable growth and ensuring that the benefits of tax reforms reach both businesses and citizens.
So those that are attaching the bill, one, they are doing that in view of the formula they discovered, which may not be, will not augur well for them on the bad allocation. And then secondly, they may be having the feeling that this law was just designed to favor Lagos State in the course of its own effort to become a state that has special status. Okay? It says so that will make it to be seen as if it is a country of its own, even though it's not up to the level of country, but it is higher than all other states in the country. Probably this may be the reason why they are agitating. The one that you can see clearly is on this issue of VAT, and then they have other suspicion. So that is another worry that I have, the issue of trust. Trust, what do some experts call trust deficit. Yes, will be promoted greatly by this if corrective measures are not taken. Graduation will not be defined. But then people have to go by what is happening now. As they go against it. Since now the graduation is about contribution of state that are producing these goods and services being consumed. So they have the right to just say that, oh, well, so now instead of 20%, it will now be 60%. And then you hear the government functionaries, including members of the committee, saying that no, that's not what they mean. They mean area of consumption. This 60% graduation is about consumption area, not location of the headquarters of company that produce the good or services. You should have defined that in the law.
Contributing to long-term national development, Dr. SOUQ A. Adedeji's career is a testament of his unwavering commitment to improving Nigeria's financial systems and enhancing revenue generation, showcasing his exceptional expertise in corporate and public finance.
Known as the father of African literature, Chinua Achebe was born on the 16th of November 1930 in Ogidi, now Anambra State, eastern Nigeria. He was born to Isaiah Okafor Achebe, a teacher and an evangelist, and Janet Anenichi Iluegbunam, a vegetable farmer. Achebe has reshaped the global understanding of African identity through the power of storytelling. Raised during the twilight of colonial rule, Achebe's education was steeped in both Igbo tradition and the Western values of post-colonial Christianity. As a student at the University of Ibadan, he became fiercely critical of how Africa was portrayed in Western literature. Achebe believed that Western literature often painted Africa as a dark and primitive continent, but he sought to tell the African people's lens. In 1958, Achebe's groundbreaking novel Things Fall Apart shattered colonial narratives through the tragic story of Okonkwo, an Igbo warrior. Achebe illuminated the complexities of African culture and the devastating effects of European colonization. Things Fall Apart became more than just a novel. It became a symbol of African resistance against the oppressive narratives of colonialism. Achebe was not just a writer. He was a passionate advocate for African self-determination, and his political activism made him a critical voice in the post-colonial era. Even after a life marked by personal and political struggles, including a car accident that left him partially paralyzed, Achebe continued to inspire. He taught at Bard College and later Brown University, where his influence reached new generations of writers and thinkers. He was married to Christiana Chinwe Okoli and they had 4 children. Sadly, he died in March 2013 at the age of 82. Chinua Achebe's legacy endures in his novels, his essays, and in the countless voices of African writers who follow in his footsteps. He gave us a voice, a story, and a vision of Africa that is ours to share.
Take Nigeria because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Idris said he's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff?
Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is SOUQ business landscape.
Hello, good morning and welcome to your regular beautiful dose of good information, that particular platform where you are also able to contribute and be part of the discussion. We talk business, we talk development, and we talk money. How does it affect us? You watching, or is your economy like your own country? How are they doing? We also try to bring up not just stories, but policies, money movement, businesses, who is making, who is losing. Here we say, don't just keep quiet. Let's be part of SBL, SOUQ business landscape. Today we'll be looking at infrastructure, what's happening with Omahi. Omahi is telling us that this particular policy that we'll be talking about today, local companies, local construction Nigerian firms are in the forefront of it. You need to stay here and be part of this particular discussion. We'll also be telling you about what's happening in the oil sector. Are we there? Are we really getting what we deserve? Are we really making those particular inroads in getting local companies to be part of it? A whole lot is happening in the international scene. A lot is happening with NCC as it concerns employment. Those that are there. A whole lot of things we'll be talking about today on this particular show. So, hey, you don't need to go anywhere. Stay here and we will be